Kris trending alongside Dr. Disrespect and MrBeast. How did we get here? Well, it turns out it was exposed that Kris Tyson had been having inappropriate conversations with 13-year-olds while they were at the age of 20.
This ain't true. And this screenshot is Kris Tyson talking one-on-one with him. And at this point, he would have been 16. And here we go. Here is the picture of them meeting up together. I'm gonna censor his face. And as you can see right there's Carl right there. There's Kris Tyson right there. Kris Tyson was talking to this guy since he was 13. Kris Tyson was in college. And of course, the moment he was able to drive, he takes a camper van out in the middle of the woods, which, by the way, very secluded area. Let me talk about that. Anytime that someone is taking a camper van somewhere, bringing it out in the desert or the middle of the woods, it's very unnecessary because there's RV parks, there's the Walmart parking lot, there's plenty of areas you can go instead of going to a place that's very unfamiliar to you to camp out there, especially in a secluded area. So the real question is, if he was talking to Kris Tyson, who is interested in both men and women, since he was 13 years old and Kris Tyson was in college, why did he take a camper van out to see him and take it out in the middle of the woods in this secluded area? And then he met up with him like 2 days later, like the picture was posted.
Alright, so this is where the epicness or lack thereof is going to begin. We got Kris Tyson on one hand representing the left. On the right hand, we got Dr. Disrespect representing the right. Both of these people are freaking predators, okay? So now it's going to begin the whataboutisms, right? This is, damn, this is kind of weird because I already know the weaponization that most people are going to use here. Basically, they're going to deflect from Dr. Disrespect. People were already doing damage control for Dr. Disrespect, saying that the minor he talked to was 17. I don't know where they arrived at that conclusion, especially because the minor's age was never identified, nor did Dr. Disrespect ever give out the age of the minor. So, for all we know, Dr. Disrespect could have been talking to a 13-year-old as well. When it came to Kris Tyson, however, it was revealed that they were talking to a 13-year-old inappropriately while they were 20. That is indeed condemnable. I know it's going to be very annoying to play the whataboutisms with Dr. Disrespect. Essentially, everybody that sucks up to this weirdo are going to deflect onto this situation. That's really, really stupid because, as I've said many times on this channel before, the internet is all about pick your favorite pedophile. That is literally what it is. Defend your favorite pedophile. Because 9 times out of 10, these fucking people on the internet are no better than the Hollywood elite. They end up doing this fucking stupid, weird shit because they power trip and they think they can get away with it. And usually they can. Alright, you still have people defending Dr. Pedo Disrespect. You still got people respecting and defending Kris Pedo Tyson. It's weird. It is once again one of those protect your favorite pedophile moments. You had this with Drake and with the Kendrick thing, where Kendrick wanted to, for some reason, not get rid of R. Kelly's entire existence. For some reason, wanted to preserve his quote-unquote art on Spotify, but still taking shot to Drake for being a predator and shit. It is, once again, protect your favorite pedophile. And, all I can say is there's not much else to say. We can go into the nitty-gritty details of this entire thing, but I don't believe there's a necessity to at this point in time. We've already heard, and as I'm looking at this right here, this seems to be a fair statement. Keep the same energy with Kris Tyson as you did with Dr. Pedo Respect, because I've gone on the record saying Dr. Disrespect is a predator. He's also a pedophile because he talked to a kid as an adult. Same thing with Kris Tyson. I don't care if you're on the left. I don't care if you're on the right. You're gonna get it either fucking way. I do think that it is hilarious though. Like, when it came to Dr. Disrespect, he essentially edited his post 5 times to try to make it sound good. But there was no way for him to sound good about talking to a kid as an adult. And when it came to Kris just straight up fucking deleted all of the stuff on their social media, on their X account, or whatever. You can check that out for yourself if you go. And when it comes to MrBeast, he's been pretty quiet lately. This is one of those moments where siding with your friend to the very end is probably not going to be the move. Especially because MrBeast has like an entire conglomerate of a brand, if you will. And suddenly I'm thinking back to that one Sunny V2 video where everybody was getting really in their feels about things. And suddenly I think, wow, that aged pretty well, huh? Because now we are in that exact situation that Sunny V2 put out, to where essentially Kris Tyson has become a brand risk. Although it's kind of interesting and funny that it is not for the reasons one initially thought. First, you see, one initially thought, and one was always making the argument that it was about the rainbows, right? Specifically the trans community, and just blatant criticisms for the obvious, which is that Kris, whether you want to admit it or not, did make a life-altering decision that was going to affect their child. As you may or may not know, Kris Tyson originally was a family man, had a child as well. So this whole transition was going to inevitably throw them all for a loop, specifically the kid. Anybody that says that it was not is blatantly lying to you. And still, that was not even the main focus. Well, at least it's not now, because the main focus is now that Kris Tyson is, for all intents and purposes, a pedophile, and will forever be branded as one. An interesting thing to note as well is that now, along with the Dr. Disrespect whataboutisms to defend him, we are also going to have people push political ideas onto this. It's the whole tribalistic thing. There are already a bunch of people saying that this was obvious from the start because it comes from a person of the trans community, thereby pushing the message that most, if not all, trans people are groomers. So it is, again, quite interesting to see how this development is going to effectively affect the bigger picture, so to speak. It gives people plenty of artillery to do with what they want to either side. On this end, though, the left is not winning. Neither is MrBeast's brand. So I am quite interested to see what kind of dynamic or what kind of plan he has in store. As one of the most beloved content creators and one of the biggest since PewDiePie, almost taking up the mantle, yeah, it's going to be really freaking interesting to see what he can do to weather the storm. Will he drop Kris Tyson and condemn them properly as people are expecting him to, or will he stand by them on a sinking ship? Because when you're somebody as big as MrBeast, something like Kris Tyson's controversy, oftentimes, now that it's being picked up a lot more, can't be thrown under the rug. But again, this is just a story that I can't wait to see unfold, because regardless, it's going to be a massive train wreck. Whether it's the tribalism on both sides, whether it's going to be the stupidity of the whataboutisms to defend Dr. Disrespect, I look forward to seeing the retardation on my big screen in full display as I cackle, and I'm sure the Seni Squad will be cackling as well. People, at the end of the day, as my friend would say, on the internet are just fucking idiots, aren't they?